Let's go. Let's record. Well, that was quite an experience. We were sitting in this room all by ourselves thinking, daylight saving time, shift today. Are we wrong? Are they wrong? What is trying to go on here? So we left that room thinking we'd come on an hour later because everybody got the wrong time and we got the wrong time. Something was happening. So we've been each sitting in our own space, wondering what's going on, I think. So welcome today. It is time to breathe. Time to breathe. So Sananda here, as you see, we're in a different location here in the state of Washington, and we'll be here every other week for the next few months because of some traveling Sharon's doing with family. But I think we'll be cozy. I wanted to begin by asking you the question, what do you do when you or your children encounter a bully? And what have you heard, read about what happens in the world when children of any age encounter a bully? What happens in school situations where there is an adult charged with teaching children to safeguarding children? What's been happening in your schools when there is activities that we would call bullying? And what happens when the bully is confronted or the bully's parents is confronted and that face of bully becomes the face of charming, compliant storyteller? What's been happening in your world in pathological relationships? There's always a bully involved. Pathological says there's a bully involved. And bully, when confronted, is found out to be a charming person, a great storyteller, and the one who is being victimized has been told, as we see, oh, boys will be boys. Don't be so loud, just get on with your work. It was just a joke. And when the bullying continues and escalates, what's been common in your cultures is that the damage done to the victim is seen as the problem. Until the bully shows up with a gun. And then it's nobody's fault. But the victim was in the wrong place at the wrong time, wearing too short of clothes, etc. You have a big problem that we need to unravel. And it's on not just the macro level of the bigger, it's on the micro level of common. It's your mindset that you have been brainwashed and programmed into you here on the planet by those who benefit from being the bully. And one of the things that have been programmed out is your ability to respond appropriately and say no and be heard and be followed up on, instead of the victim, the whistleblower, being the problem. And you live in a world where you discount the help that those of us in unseen worlds could bring to the table. And of course, the total mission of Earth is wiped out of everybody's memory. And you're only here to see if you can generate six-figure income, success. Drive a large, big car, success. Be on the arm of a wealthy man, success. You see, what you see going on in Ukraine and with Putin is just the bigger picture of the same thing that's been going on around you in your lives, in your family's lives, neighbors' lives, school lives, for as long as you've been alive and more. Well, here we come to this moment in time with you. You are a different breed of cat. And do we ever want to play with you? Because we're a different breed of cat too. Up until now, we in the unseen had to match our ability to share, to give, to teach, to match the one asking. If the one asking what was there staying in limits and staying in a certain mindset, all we could do is give that bit of information to match the mindset. Give a little tap here and there to say you want more, and often that more was not what was wanted. But you're here to make a safe playing ground, creative space. You are here saying, we heard, enough's enough. We've got it. We have got it. We are done. We are done. We do not have to have played out in our faces the bully game, the dominating game. We know it's here. Enough. Now, what we are going to do about it is what we want to know. Because we're done. And that's different. Some people are saying, hey, it's waking people up. Let's keep more of it. Let's wake people up through violence. Oh yeah, good idea. You mean there's another way for people to wake up? You know, you guys have questioned status quo in various ways and found new ideas, new possibilities. And we're here to tell you that what you have been gathering, that which has been strengthening within you, is at its moment of time of collaboration. You cannot do this turnaround game alone. None of you can. We cannot do the turnaround game alone. None of us can. So it's time to sit down and put our various pieces on the table to create a different model on the landscape of what Sharon calls the galactic history and earth mission. Because on that landscape, you're not coming up against and fighting against. Competition is the answer. Follow the leader is the answer. Being silent is the answer. That's not on that landscape. You don't even have to worry about it. It's not on that landscape. So what we're here to tell you is that it's as simple as being, what we're going to do about the bully in the room. We know it's a bully. We know there are many bullies. How can we most effectively, with all that we know and all that we can give you when you ask, how can we work together collaboratively to create a model, Carol would say a movement, and I agree, that is inclusive enough, sustainable, long-term, as not just an example of getting rid of the bully, but building without bullies. And Sharon likes to go back to the Iroquois nation's good mind. And that's really an important aspect here. What are the qualities of a tribe? We'll say you're a new tribe, a multifaceted tribe, diverse tribe. What are the values of the tribe? That's the fire around which the tribe lives, grows, and bees. And next to the fire are the children. The children are not in this fight. They are being used in this fight. They aren't the ones to answer. They aren't the ones to lead. We can listen to them and get what they hear, but it's for elders to hear the message bully from any place and be like, okay, stop everything until bully is sorted. Children around the fire of values. And then around those children are the mothers who stand with enough, no, yes. What are the design? What's the design? How are we going to do this? What are the policies? How are you as women going to stay united in the face of traditions of backbiting and gossip and I'm better and I have to do everything in order to survive, in order to have the approval of the power to be, usually men? It's there. But you women have to be united and have the ways when you feel ununited, when you feel angst at each other, get yourself back in good mind, because you are the designers, the holders of the village. And then the elders in your group, the elders who hold space and cheer you on, bring you experiential wisdom. And then your men around the entire circumference of the fire holding your back. They're not warriors. They are saying, we're feeding the design. That energy of no comes from the women around the children and the elders and those who are creating the projects. So how are you going to do this? Because we're ready. We are ready. And we think you are ready too. Last December, we had a stand-in come for Sharon's body for a night and a day. Because we had a greater meeting going on that we had many of you may have been present there and didn't even know it. It was a new weaving. That is a weaving that was done in the unseen worlds that Sharon has called it divine good. It was the words that resonated to her the closest to what she could feel of the experience itself. Divine good. And it was a weaving together of powers and individuals and intelligences and creations, and all in what you would call the unseen, the etheric world, the lower end of the galactic. Never been done before. It's time for that weaving to be made manifest. That wasn't a one-time shot. It wasn't just for a situation. It was for now. In the past, part of that brainwashing has been, God has a plan, turn it over to God. Let the elected officials take care of it. It was like we in the unseen world were expected to be the mothers, the fathers, the adults in this world, making it everything beautiful, while the children on the planet kept spilling milk all over the table and leaving their toys on the floor and crying to us because they stubbed their toe. Messes kept happening here, and there wasn't enough awareness of individuals on the planet that says, hey, we're adults here. We are mature too. We're capable. We're going to keep this house clean with your help. But no, we still expect Joe Biden to fix the whole problem. Doesn't fix the problem. He's cut out. We expect one prayer or group of prayers to clean up this mess. If it doesn't, we cut that process out. How you've been taught to think. Magic key. The magic key will never do it. So every magic key, every idea has its time of not enough, not worth it, kick it off the table. That's not where we're at. That's not where you're at. So we're proposing that we want to work with a group who learn from each other, who put together a very good plan of action, commitment to that plan of action, as they move to stop the energy of the bullying, which is what you've been doing, stop and remove the energy of the bully, and also create different ways for people to wake up, to really expand systems that can take those that have been harmed in any way and bring them into the fold of wellness. We're looking for big thinkers, creative planners, intuitive, connected ones, to do something big. To do something big. That's what you're being called to. That's what's going on the planet. Keep doing what you feel called to do in relationship to Putin and his ilk, Trump and his ilk, elected officials such as Biden, to the individuals being impacted. What are you putting in place to help them? There's a lot kind of different so far in this first little emptying the cities. Energize the plan for those. What about a plan to return quickly? And what about a plan to restore their homes instead of leaving those countries absolutely devastated and empty? In energy, you can think as big as you want to think. You can imagine as big as you want to imagine. Some plans will hit up against structures that are already manifesting, and that they will take a more effort, more commitment, more ideas breaking up, etc. And it might take them a little bit longer for you to see them manifesting. Don't cry. Keep working. Don't give up till it's manifested. And if it doesn't manifest in your lifetime, get your replacement. Have them take over. Some things can be manifested overnight. Cheers. Not everything's going to happen overnight. It doesn't work that way. It still works. Don't judge the effectiveness of your work on the news. Judge the effectiveness of your work on our word to you. We'll keep you informed. Strengthen those channels to us. Don't look for even people in this group to approve. Hey, Arlie, this is what I'm doing. Do you think it's okay? Arlie, well, it looks good to me. That's not read as a measure. It's great to have pats on the back. It's really important. But turn to us and say, oh, this is what I want to accomplish. This is what I've got in mind. How far along am I? Start to learn how to get that kind of information from us. And how about when you think big or small, it doesn't really matter. I think you've heard this last week from Sharon. That got whipped out. The point is this. We've said in the last few weeks we've met, you could be up to something big. There's possibilities that have never even been possible before. And lo and behold, here you are at a moment in time when the possibilities are here. And where do you want to play? And how do you want to play? And who do you want to play with? And what impact do you want it to have on you and your life? What impact do you want it to have on others around you? All of that is part of it, making it so it can be sustainable. It can be as long-term as it needs to be. It's a new lifestyle. So we're going over a little bit because we got started a little bit late. I hope that's okay with all of you. It's easy to get discouraged. And in those moments when you're discouraged, don't shame yourself. Don't be a bully to yourself. Let yourself be discouraged or frustrated or upset or angry until you're ready to get yourself back in good mind. It's like, that's your time to take a break. A wall isn't always about message of pain, as might be a message that says, hey, stop and lean on me for a little bit. So we know that things are bubbling up within you individually. We know that. So what we're encouraging is that you come together in a conversation, not without us there, we'll be there, but with each other. What is bubbling up within each one of you? And what might it mean as you then move forward with what's bubbling? Remember to send healing energies to those in the fray, those who are leaving their bodies. And part of this is saying, we don't need this message giver anymore. Pull the plug on this message giver and start clearing out the bullies. It was designed, the system was designed to show you were there. So no one else wants to speak because there's too many that want to speak, and they're all just going like, not, yeah, let's go, let's do it. So next week, we would have a question and answer time. So let this week percolate. Have conversations if you have time. Shoot off questions to Sharon if you want us, any ideas from us in the group, in this group. You can always get answers from us without this group, of course. But we are on to something big. So do it in the way that you're called to do it. Make it sustainable for you. Take time to rest. And if you have questions and doubts, ask what we think of you. Let us be your sounding board. Let us be the ones who hold your back. And that doesn't exclude high-fiving each other. So blessings. We're really looking forward to see how much we can really accomplish with you at this moment in time. And I hope you're excited too. So thank you for being here. Many blessings, and many ideas of inspiration. Much love.